to DC Sports Hour on DC Free 89.5. We are live on the beautiful campus of San Joaquin Delta College and the J Dog Studio. Since Richard decided not to write down the NFL,
Which I don't
which
care, but yeah. The
okay,
NFL is over to me. We're on. Yeah,
at
right.
least for this week, since there's
Yes.
no Niners
That's
playing,
alright.
we'll look back at last week and give
Start.
our frigging thoughts.
Go ahead, Vincey.
We'll start with the Thursday game. We had Tampa Bay winning 36-17 over Minnesota.
I didn't see that one coming at all. Minnesota I mean, there's a lot of critics now giving Minnesota their, say, this is their downfall now. This is it. This is where they collapse because they're still a young team, and they were one of the shocks of the NFL. I see it happening too. I don't see them hanging with the Packers and Bears at all.
Pete.
Yeah, I mean they look like they started off just like how the Lions did last year. Starting off strong, beating people up, and then all of a sudden they just
They've been
fall flat.
exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
What, you want me to say something about this game? I was upset. I had Minnesota throughout this game, and they were just getting beat up by Freeman. So, I was pretty upset.
Yeah, like I said, Minnesota's. I could see a free fall coming right after this game now.
You really think so?
Yeah, I don't think they're not as tough as everybody thinks they are. Yes, they beat Niners. I think they come down to the playoffs. And they really haven't really beat anybody strong. And Tampa Bay, to go in their house and just push them around, it just shows you that they are not as strong as everybody thought.
All right, we'll go to the next game. Carolina, losers in Chicago, 23-22 being the final score. And I jumped off that Cam Newton train. Even though the Panthers were in this game the whole time. In fact, I bet they let it until the very last seconds where the Bears kicked a field goal and once again screwed Cam.
Yeah, you can't blame Cam Newton. I mean, yeah, he threw that pick, but Steve Smith fell. Steve Smith falls down. He doesn't fall down. That interception for a touchdown doesn't happen. You know, the Bears were actually losing 22-20. The Carolina defense let it happen again. They let the Bears drive down the field to get its field goal range before the time expired. So really, I mean, you can't blame it all on Cam, but you can if you want to. I mean, that's just how I see it. I mean, Cam Newton's a great quarterback. I mean, Ron Rivera's not using D'Angelo Williams or Jonathan Stewart at all. I mean, they're paying him $8 million a year to sit on the bench. I mean, it's just like Kevin Kolb up in Arizona, Matt Flynn in Seattle, just pay him to sit. I think that's just stupid what Carolina's doing.
Yeah, I mean, well, Carolina, I mean, they did a good job controlling the clock and all that, but I mean, it where it counted the most was on the scoreboard, and
Yep.
they just couldn't hold them back.
I mean, again, it wasn't Cam Newton's fault. I mean, I've been blaming him the whole time. In fact, I still have Carolina as a wild card team, and that's not going to happen now. So
You got him as a first-round pick, it looks like.
watch it. All right, the next game, I don't think anyone saw this coming except for me. Cleveland beat San Diego 7-6. Beautiful game. A lot of defense, a lot of offense.
Defense?
I'm kidding, of course. There was nothing in that game. Why would you guys believe me on that? But can you just say Cleveland got lucky, or can you just say San Diego really stinks that they couldn't beat a below-average team?
Is that Kool-Aid tasting good to you guys now?
San Diego, I don't know what happened to them. What happened to Philip Rivers? I mean,
He has no weapons.
I mean, he used to be a pretty decent quarterback, and then all of a sudden he just
He has no weapons. Vincent Jackson's gone. Tomlinson's gone. Sproles is gone. Ryan Matthews seems to be a bust. I mean, not a bust, but he's a bust. He wasn't what he was supposed to be. He has nobody to throw it to. He doesn't have the defense he had. Cromartie's gone. Merriman's off on steroids. And everybody is gone from what Marty built. Marty Schottenheimer, and that is just a disgrace from the Spanos completely. They tore that team apart because they couldn't get along with Marty Schottenheimer. San Diego deserves everything they need to do. And Cleveland, it doesn't surprise me they won because they've been in a lot of games this year. They've actually had Philadelphia on the ropes ready to knock them out. They just, they snuck in that little jabber. They've had teams on the ropes this year, and they beat the Bengals. The Bengals were a playoff team from last year. I mean, it's just obvious. Norv Turner got to go. He's destroyed that franchise.
yeah, bring back Ryan Leaf.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't go that far. Go ahead, Vince.
I'm left speechless there. Bring back Ryan Leaf. Stick with Rivers. Time will come. I mean,
They got to rebuild. They got to rebuild. It's done. San Diego's done. They threw it all away when they let go of Marty Schottenheimer. They had one great year, and once again, Rex Ryan the Jets came and knocked them out of the playoffs.
And the only thing I'm going to say here, the AFC West is easy to win.
No, I mean, the Chiefs should come back and win it probably.
Next game, Detroit winners at home. I think the only Detroit team that actually won, 28-24 over the Seattle Seahawks.
That was a good game.
Yeah, it was, but I had Seattle, so it wasn't a good game in my thought. But you know what? Detroit needed this. They've
That
been
was a
struggling
huge
the
win.
last couple games. I mean, they've been in it, but they just, never had that last run or last pass that they really needed. And they finally got it in this game, and congrats to Detroit. You got a win.
Go ahead, Pete.
I still think Detroit's overrated. I mean,
Oh, yeah, they are.
well, what they did last year, I mean, at the beginning of the year was good until they played the Niners, and then I don't know what's happened to them ever since. They packed up and moved away, just like the automobile industry over there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a watching Detroit's now is like really watching. You don't know what you're to get from them anymore. Everybody knows that Calvin Megatron. They're gonna try to beat him down. What made it so great was that Seattle quarterback Brandon, what's his name? Webster, was it Webster? I don't remember what his name is. He sat there, and if we all remember the Twitter picture of him yapping at Tom Brady, no, just straight disrespect to him. He's the one that got the touchdown, scored the game winner with 20 seconds by Titus Young. And that makes it so much better because you obviously don't disrespect someone who actually deserves your respect in the league. And so Seattle got what they deserved. Marshawn Lynch, congratulations. You had, I think, a 77-yard career high run. You're actually hitting me in the mouth because I always told you were overrated, but you're actually doing what you're supposed to do. So congratulations to you. But that Seattle that offense is just finally looking like it's wearing down.
All right, the next game, Jacksonville just decided to kick field goals, and Green Bay decided to pummel them. Final score, Packers 24, Jacksonville 15. What can we talk about this game other than Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense?
The offense ain't back. Don't get me wrong. I mean, now Greg Jennings is. He's got to have to wait on the surgery because of what's going on in Hurricane Sandy. In fact, best of wishes to everybody out there. Wish you guys a safe recovery and all that other good stuff. But yeah, the Packer offense ain't what it used to be. Their defense still sucks. Jacksonville, I don't know how the heck he show up at Lambeau Field, but they looks like they're coming together a little. I ain't gonna say it was a shocker. I ended up starting to rooting for Jacksonville midway through this game because that would have been a huge upset and a big win for this franchise.
Yeah, Jordy Nelson and James Jones stepped up big time for them, and Randall Cobb, he just came out of nowhere. Now he's another weapon that Rodgers has. They look like they're coming together really well.
And we got a crazy fan outside.
Yeah, let's pretend we don't know her.
Yeah.
All right, the next game we have is Miami 30 and the Jets 9. You've been saying Rex Ryan needs to get fired, and I'm probably going to have to agree with you. And the fact that he says, okay, we'll just put Tebow in, for more plays, and he's not going to be the starting QB.
No.
What the heck is Ryan thinking?
You can't do nothing about that. You have to stick with Sanchez. That was the dude you guys chose at number 5. That was his franchise quarterback. It was just like with Mike Nolan and Alex Smith. You can't turn your back on the guy you picked so high and paid so much money for. Just to say, hey, sorry, dude, it didn't work out. You have to stick with him. I mean, Rex Ryan's done. That team is done.
Yeah, they've been done for a long, long time. I mean, Rex Ryan here, he reminds me a lot of Mike Nolan, where it just seems like he doesn't get along with his personnel. I mean, you got Sanchez, who looks like he's a little bit intimidated to play under him, like he doesn't know what he wants to do for him, or what he wants Sanchez to do. But it's time for Tebow to come in. I mean, everybody wants it. You give him the shot already.
I just think that that Jets team, and what did I say? Tanny, well, he got knocked out, but Matt Morse, he's very underrated for a backup. He stepped up pretty well, and he did what he had to do. The Dolphins are right now, to me, the surprise team in the league because I was not expecting them to be this tough.
And to be second in the division at this point.
I picked the Bills. What a dumb mistake.
Next game, Atlanta remains undefeated, 30-17 over Philly. And there's a rumor, according to Michael Vick, saying that he may be benched next game.
I don't see that happening.
You really don't?
No, you're paying that guy too much money to throw in a 6th-round rookie. Your Andy Reid, your job's pretty much done and over with, unless you really want to get back at Philadelphia fans and say screw you for all the crap that you guys put me through. Then yeah, I would bench Michael Vick, but I don't see Andy Reid throwing in the towel just yet. You can't blame all Vick. I mean, yeah, he has all the turnovers and all that, but it's not all him. I mean, Reid made a mistake by hiring Costello last year as a defensive coordinator. You went and spent all this money on all this talent, They just don't work together. You guys try to be the Yankees of football, and you guys try to glue a team together to win a title, and it backfired completely, and it will cost Andy Reid his job. And if Reid really wants to get back in Philadelphia, I would throw a 6th-rounder in there and just let other teams just beat me down. But then again, it'll help Philly with the draft pick.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Philadelphia. I mean, they started to believe the hype a little bit too much. I mean, they got who did they get last year? To turn them into an all-star team.
They got Austin Wall. They got Young. They from Marty from a trade for Kolb. They got a lot of great play. I mean, I really was worried about Philadelphia. It looked like they collapsed when the Niners made their great comeback against them.
Yeah.
And when they were down 23-3, it looked like the Niners were able to run against them. They made Alex Smith look like a legend, and yeah, it really was a fundamental collapse that really just sank their season. And when they really couldn't recover because a lot of people they were exposed. And once again, not Obzanwa, he's not a zone coverage guy. He is a man-to-man guy, and the Philadelphia Eagles try to turn him into something he wasn't, and it backfired completely.
All right. The only thing I'm saying about this whole thing is don't bench the 4th most paid QB in the league, which is Vic. That's all I'm saying. Next, we have the Steelers and their what type of uniforms? Those little crappy black and yellow that I did not like.
1939.
I called them the Bumblebee uniforms.
They were winners at home against the Washington Redskins, 27-12 being the final score. Roethlisberger, as usual, getting the job done.
Oh, Dick LeBeau. You gotta give that guy never gets no credit with. Oh, he does, but we don't ever give him that. I give him a lot of credit for his defense. He contained RG3. He had a game plan and he contained him. I mean, I'm not saying they were gonna win this game if RG3 did anything great. Pittsburgh was gonna win this game no matter what. But Dick LeBeau did a great job. Ben does what he does best, and they found a running back. I think his name's Rod Dreyer. They found Jerome Bettis, number 2. People are starting hopping on that bus because that running back, that boy's going to be a bruiser if he continues plays at his level that he's played at.
Yeah, Pittsburgh just beat up on Washington in that game. I mean, they tried to throw every trick play they could think of at Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh just looked at them and laughed. And I mean, RG3 he tried to get it going, but I mean, what can you do when you're that far behind already?
Exactly.
Now I'm going to run past these last couple games because I feel like they have absolutely no meaning except for a few of them. New England killing St. Louis in London, 45-7.
The only story that stood off of that is Robert Kraft believes London needs a football team. That's the only story we're talking about in St. Louis. I don't know what. That wasn't even a game. If I was in London, I paid all that money, all excited to see an NFL team, I'd be so upset. Other than that, I'd be happy I saw Tom Brady.
Yeah, St. Louis looked like they were going to have a pretty good game at the start, but then after Tom Brady had that he scored like how many times and as soon as St. Louis scored, they scored like what 50 points or something like that.
Well, it was
like
45-7, so they couldn't score 50 points.
Plain and simply, they gave them a beating.
Yeah.
Let's just jump through this. Indy 1913 winners in Tennessee over the Titans. Funny enough, the Raiders win 26-16 over Kansas City. The game we should talk about right here are the Giants and the Cowboys. Giants winning this game 29-24. What happened here?
Tony Romo happened. That's all.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. No, honestly, the Giants, they jumped out to a big lead, 23-0. Dallas, somehow, congrats, you guys made a rally. I wasn't expecting it, but you guys rallied. It took the lead 24-23. Giants, Eli does what he does best, brings them back 26-24. Now, 2nd and 1, they decided to throw it. 3rd and 1, Dallas, they're already close to almost field goal range, but they're not. In fact, I think the Giants made it 29-24 at this moment. It was 29-24, 3rd and 1, you throw it again. 4th and 1, I don't know what Jason Garrett is thinking. You pay running backs and fullbacks to get 1 yard, and he threw it 3 straight times. And then the 4th down, Romo tried to make a little run, but the Giants lineman made a great play and sealed him in, and he threw his 4th interception on just trying to make a play happen.
Yeah, it was funny how there was 2 guys named Romo helping the Giants win that same day. I mean,